Nebraska. In fact, I understood that in 1960. When Nebraska gave a greater percentage for Richard Nixon than any other state against President Kennedy, poor old President Kennedy. What you did. You wouldn't do that again, would you? Here's the chance. You know, we have all of this discussion, all of this talk by presidential candidates and by others about what they're going to do for the farmer, what they're going to do for the rancher, what they're going to do for the wheat grower. But think of the family that's doing the most right now. Just think of that. Of all the presidential candidates, not what they promise they're going to do in the future, but who's doing the most right now. If you look down my breakfast table, you would know I was. About the war in Vietnam, I appreciate and support what President Johnson announced about 3 weeks ago, a change in policy, that we would try to go to the negotiating table. I think it's important we go to the negotiating table. My reservations about the war in Vietnam is not that I wanted to pull out, not that I want to unilaterally withdraw from Vietnam, but just the fact that the American troops and American combat forces have carried the major burden of the fighting. I think this is their war. This is their conflict. It's up to them to win it. We can help them, but we can't win it for them. And that's been my reservation about the conflict. Things we can do about violence. I think there's things we can do about lawlessness. I think we can move. I think that we can do more for the farmer. I think we can do more. Political leaders, that's probably what I should say. But they're the ones who make the choice. But here in the state of Nebraska, and about obedience to the law, I know also how important it is that all of our citizens are treated with just as an enterprise system. It gives tax credits and tax incentives and lower taxes for those businesses who go in and hire those who are presently unemployed or those who are on welfare. That's the one area that we haven't used over the period of the last several decades. That's the area that we should go into. That's the area that could really make a difference. Bring in the companies and corporations in the United States, have them go to the small... I'm delighted to be here. Can we go to the sign? Hurry up. Go to the sign. Thank you. Just get over. Mr. Mayor, Barney Meatsack. Democratic Chairman, Jerry Meatsack. It sounds to me a little bit like a dynasty that's being constructed here. Is he your son? Is he your son? Does that cause you concern that there's a dynasty being established here? Grateful for being here. Joe Kovas had his sign up. Where is he? Kovas 14, you have to accept it. The high administration official said that we could expect summer and after summer of these kind of riots. I think we can do much better, and I expect to do so if you help me be elected president of the United States. I think it's also. I think that also the. That's enough for a friendly sign. Keep Columbus clean, Bobby Lee. Again. Reform. Stop. You're going to make an effort. I want to see the same thing in South Vietnam. Not rely on American troops. Not rely on the Americans with our assistance, with our support. But the major burden of the struggle. I don't see why our tax savings are being eaten up. We have the highest interest rates that we've had in the last 100 years. I think that we can do better. We have violence in our streets. We have a war 12,500 miles away that we can't bring to an end successfully, that we can't win, and that we're not even able at the present time to bring to the negotiating table. I think we can do better here in the United States. We are a brave country.
For Robert F. President, Mr. Ramsey.
Thank you very much. Everybody has the right to speak. I don't like it much because I'll repeat the question. Ensure that industry comes into our communities, our smaller communities, not just the large cities of the United States. I think we have problems in our large cities. That's absolutely clear. Beyond that, I think that we need jobs, we need decent education for our citizens, and we need decent housing. And I think we can do all of these things. And I don't think it's just a question of government spending. I don't think it's just a question of government control or government control from Washington. What I think is that we have to, and that's what I object to. What happened now? You're not going to bring out Mr. Nixon again. Well, you did that. My wife, that's a senator. Is that? What is the question? And therefore that I have no rapport with the poor, and that I don't, the public housing program has caused these difficulties, and I said that in one breath, and then I said that we have to rebuild the cities in the next breath, and therefore they were inconsistent, and didn't I recognize that they were inconsistent? Is that about right? Can I answer the question? The question was, how do I think Hubert Humphrey joining the race will affect it? I think he makes it interesting, and I think that he will also make the issues quite clear-cut in dealing with the problems of the future and the programs that we're following at the present time. And I think that's helpful for the country so they can make a choice. Gerald, maybe this is the last one if it's a nice one. I need your help in this. Right?